What is up, everybody? So, I am back today to talk about a film that my co host of my podcast, the Film Monsters podcast, has recommended me a couple of times now as streaming on Shudder. And I was like, you know what? It sounds like an absolutely fun time, and I want to check this one out. And the movie I'm going to be discussing today is Mayhem. Mayhem is directed by Joe Lynch. A virus spreads through an office complex, causing white-collar workers to act out their worst impulses. So this film stars Stephen Yeun as Derek. He works for this company that he's worked his way from the bottom up, and at the beginning of the film, you can see that there's a lot of tensions in his office building. A lot of people don't like each other there, and this whole thing happens where he has essentially been set up by his business to take the downfall for a really rocky business deal. And at the same time, Samara Weaving's character shows up, and she is trying to fight to get her house back. And so she goes there. Stephen Yeun tells her essentially, like, no, there's nothing we can do for you. It doesn't really matter what you do. You're kind of fucked. And after all that happens, you're also told that at the same time, there's been an outbreak of this virus that has been contained enough to where it affects you for, I think it's like 8 hours or something like that. It's like some specific amount of time period that when this virus hits, it essentially strips you of all of your inhibitions and everything that would cause you to stop acting like animalistic, and strips all that away to where people go nuts and start killing each other and start having sex everywhere and just essentially act like primitive animals. And so the movie is the virus breaks out in the office building after all of this happens. And so Stephen Yeun uses that to his advantage, where he meets Samara Weaving, who has not been able to get out of the office building, and says, I'll help you track down the person who's trying to stop you from getting your house back if you'll help me get up there to get my job back. And so the two of them start to work together to try to both accomplish these goals. And this movie was a blast. I loved every second of this movie. It's overly violent just for the sake of being violent, which I always love movies like that. It's hysterical. The dialogue in this, Samara Weaving and Stephen Yeun have amazing chemistry in this film. They play off each other so well. It's really a funny concept too. It's obviously poking fun at that traditional 9-to-5 job, just like the business corporate sphere as a whole. It really does a nice job kind of picking that apart. I didn't know how I would feel about it at first, but the boss that's like consistently doing cocaine throughout the movie became a really funny, dumb, reoccurring gag that I laughed at quite a bit throughout the runtime of this movie. And yeah, it's not anything super thought-provoking, but it's really just fun. I feel like it's a callback to a lot of really amazing films that have existed throughout the years while still being its own unique thing. I feel like whenever you see those outbreak movies, they're always typically very zombie affiliated, and so this whole idea of like this virus that spreads just makes you crazy, but you can still control elements of it. But like, if you really are mad at a person, you're going to act it out. And I thought a lot of the kill sequences in this were really well done. There was some really cool, unique use of just things that they could find in the office to attack each other, which I really appreciated that element of the movie. And it's just a silly, fun, blood-soaked time with two incredible actors. I mean, you look at the trajectory of Stephen Yeun's career through the past couple of years, starting with really The Walking Dead, which kind of brought him into the sphere. And then you look like over the past couple of years, you have films like Nope and Minari and Burning, where he's just really showing the talent he has as an actor. And something like this that's so drastically different from all of those movies, he really ups the camp level. He's hilarious. He's really likable. He's just a great protagonist. And then you add someone like Samara Weaving in, who continues to prove herself as a queen of the horror genre. No matter how you feel about it, her performance in The Babysitter is hilarious. I really loved her in Ready or Not. I think that no matter what she shows up in over the years, that she has been so great in those roles, and I really love her as an actress. She was just recently in Damien Chazelle's Babylon as well. Just a really talented, credible performer, and they both give so much to these roles. There's so much witty dialogue. There's a sequence in particular referencing the Dave Matthews Band that just had me rolling on the floor laughing. And clearly Joe Lynch is someone who really loves horror films, who has a passion for that genre, and really was able to make something unique and fun that I could plan. I see myself revisiting this one quite often. It's definitely a really entertaining experience that I found myself laughing quite a bit. So if you haven't seen Mayhem, streaming on Shudder, 100% worth it. Go check it out. So if you've seen Mayhem, did you love it? Did you hate it? Leave me a comment down below and let me know what you thought. I thought this movie was an absolute blast. I didn't really know what to expect, and I ended up really enjoying it. As always, if you like the video and subscribe to the channel, it helps me out a lot and lets me know the type of content you're looking for. I'm always putting out new material and look forward to getting more out for you in the near future. And as always, everyone, thank you so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.